Earth, Europe, Austria, Graz. This is the place where the legendary Mercedes G-class is hand-built since 1979. By the way, did you know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was born only 3 kilometers from Graz? And why the fuck am I mentioning this? Well, because he apparently owns a G-class.
No shit.
But back to the car. The G-class is an amazing vehicle. It is a badass car. And with its old school aggressive design, it looks like nothing else on the road today. Actually, the newer versions are considered as a status symbol, so because of this, you can find plenty of them in Dubai, Moscow or California. The production of this Mercedes started in 1979 and it's still in production. There are actually 3 main versions of this car. The very first models had the W460 codename and they were available from 1979 to 1990. They made a long 5-door, a short 3-door or a 2-door convertible versions. The next type with the W461 codename was made only for military or public service use from 1990 to 2001. But the last, more comfortable, more civilized model of this G-class with the W463 codename is available from 1990. And this version got all those necessary comfortable features such as air conditioning, electric windows or leather interior with wood trim. It also got 3 electronically locking differentials. They made plenty of various variations of this W463, so besides the conventional 5-door or the 3-door version, there is also the 2-door convertible, the 4x4 squared, or the king of the G-class, the 6x6 model. Of course there are other versions too, but let's move on. I am not going to talk about the interior build quality of the 460 or the 461 models, because there is no need for this.
This place looks like a fucking crack house.
However, the interior build quality of the W463 versions is very good, and you can expect high quality materials which can withstand a lot. The visibility from the interior is also great, but on the other side, mainly the backseat area is actually not that spacious as you would think. You can also expect bigger wind noise in higher speeds because of the aerodynamics from the 1979 and because of the flat windscreen. The quality of the paint job is very good and the rust protection is great, but only on newer versions. Cars made before 1991 can have, in a lot of cases, big rust issues. I mean, it's also not a big surprise because they are really old cars.
I'm old, not obsolete.
This G-class was developed mainly as a military vehicle, which means that it's built to last. So, the W460 and W461 models don't have many problems except the rust or with some of the mechanical and rubber parts which can be worn because of the age. The W463 models can have, on the other side, more often problems with the drained battery, water leaking from the sunroof area, window regulators and with the transfer case motor. Cars made to 2004 can have more often minor problems with the electronics and issues with the transfer case control module. It's also important to make sure that the newer cars have the latest software updates. Okay, but what about the suspension? Well, the chassis of this Mercedes is separated from body, so it has leather frame with rigid axles. With this technical solution and with the 3 electronically locking differentials, the G-class is basically an unstoppable off-road vehicle. So, as I said, it's fantastic off-road, but it's actually not very good on the road. And it's not a big surprise because all the cars with the leather frame have bigger or smaller handling issues on the regular roads. What are these issues? First of all, It feels really heavy and it actually is a heavy vehicle. Then you should forget the cornering in higher speeds, because cornering in higher speeds is like cornering with a big house. It's not possible. The next thing is the ride comfort, which is an average. So the G-Class is way behind, for example, the Range Rover when it comes to comfortable drive. Although the electronically adjustable front seats in the later G-Class models are really comfortable. Check if the electronic differentials on the W463 versions are working properly, because they can stuck if they haven't been used for a long time. Also check the differentials for oil leaks, and it's good to replace the oil in them after 40,000 kilometers. The older versions can have problem with the rear springs, which can break. The wheel bearings can be also worn, so check for ticking or humming noises when cornering. Some of the owners used this G-Class for off-roading, so check the underside of the car for damage. If you want to buy the two-door convertible version, then check the roof for damage, and it can also leak. The interior wind noise in these models is obviously bigger, so be prepared for this. Keep in mind that this is still a Mercedes, and it's not a usual Mercedes, so all these spare parts are expensive.
You've got to be shitting me.
No, I am not shitting you.
The optional equipment of the newer W463 models included, for example, various leather color combinations, heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats, heated windscreen, adaptive cruise control, rear seat entertainment package, Harman Kardon sound system, and so on. This G-Class had quite a lot of, let's call them updates, because a facelift is usually bigger. So the most important updates were in 2007, 2008, and the latest was in 2012. I would personally recommend buying a car made from 2004, because, as I said, they solved some of the problems after this year. The price for this legendary off-road car starts at 3,900 euro for the cheapest drivable one in Germany, and it goes up until astonishing 1,190,000 euro for a 2015 G63 AMG 6x6 Brabus version.
Hey, are you gonna pay for that?
Talk to the hand.
The petrol engines in the W460 and W461 versions are reliable, but as you can see, they are not very powerful. The W463 versions, on the other side, have a lot of really powerful and also reliable engines, so they can have only regular issues. The AMG units are insanely powerful, and they are also completely hand-built. Of course, the consumption of all the petrol engines is really high, but that's obvious. The diesel engines in the W460 and W461 versions are alright, except the 4 and 5 cylinder engines with the OM616 and OM617 engine codes, because they can have often compression problems. In this case, it's difficult to start these engines, so I would not recommend choosing these units. Some of the engines in the W463 versions can have bigger issues. For example, the turbocharged 6-cylinder 136 horsepower engine with the OM603 engine code, which is in older versions, can have more often problems with oil consumption or cracked cylinder head. The engines in the newer versions are reliable, but because of the common rail injection, they can have more expensive but regular diesel engine issues. I would personally not recommend the 4-liter V8 diesel engine either, because it has more expensive maintenance. I recommend to change the oil in the engine after maximum 10,000 kilometers. All the engines are equipped with timing chain, which should be alright, but it can be worn in high mileage cars. You can choose the manual 4 or 5-speed gearbox, which should be alright, however it can be easily worn in older cars. So check for strange noises from the gearbox when shifting. Then there is the older 4 or 5-speed and the newer 7-speed automatic transmission. The older units are usually reliable, but they can be worn out after many years of using. The 7-speed automatic gearbox can have electronic or mechanic problems, so check the transmission properly before buying. It should change gears smoothly without some kind of a strange noise or hesitation. I recommend changing the oil in the automatic gearbox every 60,000 kilometers. Before buying, check the suspension parts and all the electronics. The car should ride quietly, so it shouldn't make rattling, squeaking or humming noises from the suspension. I would recommend to check for uneven tire wear too, which is often the result of the incorrect wheel alignment. Don't forget to check the brakes, so try to brake harder a couple of times. The car should brake smoothly without some vibrations or wobbling brake pedal. Check the exterior of the car for various paint defects or rust spots, which can be the sign of the resprayed body. And don't forget the gaps between the body panels, they should be even on the left and on the right side too. I hope that this information are helpful enough. If you have some questions or if you have personal experience with this car, then write it into comments. Thanks for watching.